Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
Fabulous Arizona Center. And guess what?
What?
It's Tuesday.
And no tacos yet again.
Guess what we don't have?
Tacos?
We have no tacos, but you know, we have word of the day.
That is not an even substitute. Not even close.
All right, but you get to at least do something that makes you...
I get to rip it?
You do indeed. Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Go for it.
Aw, that didn't go very high.
All right, so our word for the day is haughty.
Ooh.
Showing an attitude of superiority or contempt for people and things perceived to be inferior.
Basically how I just acted about word of the day.
Indeed,
You're
very
welcome.
haughty. So his friends say that despite his haughty demeanor, he is generally a warm and generous person.
So you got to know him on the inside, I
guess so. But there you go, haughty.
You know what I'll say I love about our crew? We don't work with anybody that has a haughty attitude.
Nope, not at all.
Everybody on our set is so warm and generous and kind. Like, we're really, really blessed to have the crew that we have and the team.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That's cool. Look at that. Word of the day gave me a nice heart moment that allowed me to reflect.
A warm fuzzy.
Yeah. Could be the beginning of a transformation.
For word of the day?
Yeah, with my relationship for word of... I'm sure tomorrow I'll be like, I hate this. But.
Right, tomorrow I'll be like, oh, what's that word again?
All right. You know, if you just fed me tacos while we did word of the day on Tuesdays, it'd be one day out of the week that we don't have to fight about anything. Just saying.
True.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We actually had this guest on way back in the day when we were in our old studio. We love him so much. We love what he does. So we're excited to welcome him back, and we think you're going to be excited too. So keep it right here. We'll be back in just a second.
And welcome back on this Tuesday morning. I'm Marshall Shore, here for the morning show.
And I'm Melissa Farley, and we're here at the
Fabulous Arizona Center.
That's right. And we are surrounded by booths, which means Rye's back in the house. Hi.
Indeed.
Hello.
So, okay, last time we chatted with you, you were shoes for the people.
Yeah.
Now you're Eagle and Owl.
Eagle and Owl, yeah.
So tell me about...
So one of the reasons I chose Shoes for the Peoples is I came from chefing for years ago, so I joke and I tell people I'm the chef and the shoemaker, the cook and the cobbler of the village.
Yeah.
But so have you ever been to a festival and there's a whole bunch of food trucks and there's that one food truck you have no idea what kind of food they make?
Yes.
I didn't ever want to have that problem, so I was like Shoes for the Peoples. And I also had a little food business beforehand that was Food for the People, so I just kind of took that over and just did Shoes for the Peoples, which was great. Now, as I've been moving along and I'm working more into the SCA realm and 99.99% of my business is in the Renaissance Fair and SCA realm and wars and things like that. Eagle and Owl is more appropriate. I also have an attachment. If I see any bird, any big bird, often at nighttime it's some sort of an owl, and during the day it can often be eagles, depending on what part of the state or what part of the other states I'm in. So there's a connection with them there. So I thought it was a little more appropriate. I'm still, since I don't see people sometimes from one year to the next, if I see them at one Renaissance Fair and I won't see them again until the next year, it's like probably a 2 or 3 year transition, honestly.
Okay.
All my legal paperwork is Shoes for the Peoples, but transitioning into Eagle and Owl. You go to a Ren Fair or a war and it's all medieval looking, and then you see Shoes for the Peoples with all this other stuff. It's much more appropriate.
Got it. Okay.
So,
yeah, you miss out too. We've got a partnership with Liberty Wildlife, and they brought in a great horned owl.
Yeah.
We've got a vulture last
time. We had a turkey
vulture.
Yeah.
Nice. I love turkey vulture. I say they're the Switzerland of the sky.
The Switzerland.
Yeah, because they don't have any natural prey or predators. So
That's right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, one of the things we love about your work is just the craftsmanship
Thank
and
you.
the care and the beauty that goes into this. But let's just assume people didn't watch the last interview. Tell us a little bit about what it is you do here and how you do it.
So I do a custom fit and I custom boot. So what I do is I put a sock on you, tape around the foot. There we go. And I cut this apart, and I use this as the pattern to build the boot. So every boot is made around the customer's foot. Every boot is made to order. I don't have all the sizes. If you come up and say you're a size 10, that doesn't mean anything to me. So I take this apart. So it goes three-dimensional like this, and then I take it apart, put it on pattern, put my seam allowances in and all that stuff, and then I sew it together, and then I put it up, or I build it into an actual shoe. So from that point, what people can do, they come to my table, they come to my booth, and they want to order a pair of shoes. So they get to pick the height. So I've got, these shorties here. I've got, different heights up to a knee high. I'm not doing thigh high boots. It just isn't. It just is a lot of work and way too much money in the real estate. And they pick the colors. So the main boot body. They pick the button strip color here. There's always going to be a color there. I stitch something on for support for the boots. They get to pick the sole. I've got some Vibram options. They get to pick any artwork if they want any artwork. And I do applique stuff, which is like stitching on leather. And I also do tooling, which is carving into leather and painting on that. So I do that as well. So in many forms of artwork. They also get to pick the buttons. I make the buttons, they're acid etched, so I buy the sheet metal, I etch the buttons, I punch them out, I round them, I solder the backs on, I do all the work on the buttons. I have some younger hands that are sewing the buttons on for me. It's a heavy duty wax thread. I'm in my 50s, my hands are a little shot. If I can save them and do this longer, I will pay somebody to sew buttons on for me, for sure. But it's custom from start to finish, from the fitting all the way down to the colors and everything else. So
Yeah. And that is so cool because, nobody is a size 10.
Nobody's a size 10, not truly, no.
And you're not symmetrical.
It's also, and it's also what I call buying a standardized shoe is like the foot binding of the West. Because often if somebody's wide foot but they wear a 10, the length, they have to buy a 10 and a half because a shoe will squeeze foot, make it longer, just so it'll fit. So there's a lot of things that go along with that.
Well, I was going to ask particularly about the boot part because I'm short, I'm 4'10", I've got little feet, but I'm a thicker girl, so my calf's kind of, thicker. So I can't really buy boots because I just don't have anything that fits me well. Yeah. Do you take that into consideration?
I do because the cast catches the whole shape of your foot.
Yeah.
So wide calves, somebody wants a pair of knee highs and they have big calves, the cast catches all of that. So I just form it.
That's exciting.
It's all right there. So there's really no guesswork. There's no standardization. Sometimes, generally, most people's feet are similar enough. I can do one cast. I'll do two casts of each foot if I need to. But yeah, it's fits like a glove. It's made around your feet. It's a pretty great option.
That seems like a benefit in and of itself. But why else might someone want to invest in getting a custom boot or something like this made instead of going to discount shoe warehouse or something like that?
So one of the things working in the Ren Fair SCA community, and for those that don't know, SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism, you can go sca.org if you're into Renaissance Fair stuff. It's people that dive into it in a big way. They have specific garb, maybe colors that they want to match the garb. And the boot, being a handmade boot, has a Renaissance look. Even though it's more of a moccasin look to it, it's passable. They do what they call the 10-foot rule, where if it looks close enough in 10 feet, then it's good. It's going to pass. That's kind of how they look at it. So people that invest in it in the SCA world, a lot of it comes down to their garb and matching their garb. What I like to tell people is, and I even have a hashtag for it, not just for fair, is these are literally a lifetime boot. The people that I learned from, a little shout out to the Windwalkers, Tim and Mary, they have been doing it for 40 years, and there's people that still have their boots from when they first started. I've seen from other makers a 42, 43-year-old pair of boots that somebody's still walking around in. Yeah. How many pair of shoes that you buy from the store are you going to have for that long? Yeah. People get buried in their boots. somebody passes away and their kid is the same size, and the kid starts wearing the boots, and they call it a legacy boot. So these are truly a lifetime boot that is a one of a kind. I've never made two boots the same. Might be the same color combination, but maybe the buttons are different, or this button strip is a little different shape. I purposely, like somebody wanted a pair of boots just like this. The other one has an ocotillo that's blooming up the back. I had to change it a little bit because I don't want two boots the same. So that's the other thing. They're investing in a one-of-a-kind wearable piece of art.
I love that. I love the legacy element too. Like my dad gave me a belt, a leather belt that he had when he was a kid, and I wear it now, you know, and it's just so cool to have that. I'm curious because you do really beautiful work in artistry. What's your favorite thing to make? Like, what gets you excited when you get to play and do something cool?
You know, I don't know if I have a specific thing. What really gets me excited is when people have something, an image that they love, that they're just attached to. Maybe in the SCA realm, they have what's called a device, and it's maybe an image that they created that's theirs, and they put a lot of time into it and a lot of love into it. Maybe they'll make it into a button, or maybe I'll do some sort of an image with the applique or something on the boot. When I know that people are just, they just come to me and they're just going to design their just perfect pair of dream boots. That's what gets me excited. You know, it's you know, being from the culinary world, you know, it's like making the soup of the day. It didn't matter what the soup of the day was. It was the opportunity to be creative. I could have been whatever. It's, you know, cream of walk-in or whatever. But, you know, it's just that making something that is one of a kind that people are going to love.
Well, and I love the range. I mean, it's like you go from, I mean, things like this that are so pictorial, to then this was just like these rough edges, just kind of sewn in, which I think
texture's so cool.
is just really beautiful.
Yeah,
and every moment you wear it, it's always changing. So it'll never give you the same look twice.
I think what's really cool too about listening to you talk is I'm reading a book right now about flow state, and I'm hearing you talk, and I think that's something that is kind of, as an assessment for me, unique about you in the sense that, like, the purpose, the connection that you have with the people that you're doing this service for, like, is so much of the drive behind why you do what you do, and that's really cool. And it comes out, I feel like, in the work.
And I also think that coming from the culinary field, I make something that lasts a lot longer than I did in the kitchen world.
True.
You know, this is somebody's gonna, but I still get to be creative. I still get to make something. I still get to work with my hands. I still get to play in that realm, in that flow realm, and it works pretty well for me. And
I was gonna say, loving a food like I do as a good Italian woman, I still remember like meals I had 10 years ago that were, you know, like really good
there's still
experiences.
things I talk about. Like, and that flavor is right there, and I can really see it's just kind of like knowing these are in your closet, just waiting to come out.
So where can people find you, work with you, and maybe share a little information too about the process, how long they should expect to wait, that kind of thing.
And color options. So
you
only have a few color options.
Oh yeah. All these boots are either my boots or my wife's boots. There's a couple that, like this pair, I forgot to do artwork on there. She wanted moon phase up the back, so that ends up on my table. But yeah, so that's kind of what I have for display is somewhat limited. But yeah, I have all these colors. Those are accent colors. And I tell people that if there's a color you don't see,
behind the booth,
let me know. I would buy it, because if you want it, somebody else down the road would want it. And that's how I've acquired all those colors.
Beautiful pink for me, which I love.
Main boot body colors with those. And I use a thick 6 to 8 ounce bull hide. So it's thick, it's durable, it's heavy duty, but it also is soft and supple for the moccasin feel.
I like how we're both running the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, that teal.
The turquoise and the purple together. I did a pair of boots a few weeks ago, which were just incredible.
That's gorgeous.
So where to find me? Shoesforthepeoples.com or eagleandowl.com. Either one takes you to the same place. For social media, my Instagram is kind of transitioning. That was Eagle and Owl _ Shoes for the Peoples. I think I need to change my Shoes for the Peoples page to Eagle and Owl something. But if you type in either Instagram or Facebook, you'll find me under Shoes for the Peoples, and with the Eagle and Owl, and with the website same. As far as where I'm going to be physically, my next event is Potrero War, in Southern California, right on the border, a beautiful, beautiful part of California. And the wars are usually 5-day events, 7-day events, sometimes they're 2-week events. SCA stuff, people go, they set up their village. Those are pretty great. Those are a lot of fun. And then I'll be at Kronenberg Renaissance Fair for guest artist one weekend, and San Luis Obispo. I live a hard life. I got to go to San Luis Obispo.
I know. I'm
to
like,
do a fair.
Man.
I know,
want to
and then
go there
Tahoe.
to stay
I'll
at
be
the
in
Madonna
Tahoe.
Inn so
yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's on my bucket list. Yeah,
that's pretty great. Tahoe. There's a 2-week fair in Tahoe.
Well, if you go, you should get some pink champagne boots.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be so fitting
Ooh,
for
look
the
at
Madonna
that.
Inn.
Yeah, totally. I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's always fabulous having you on the show. If you are at all interested in getting something made by Bry, please reach out. He's on social media, has a website, will be out and about, it sounds like, at really cool places. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this with things to do, celebrations, and a little bit of history.
Indeed. And welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
The fabulous Arizona Center. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday. Yeah.
Also, it is my grandmother's birthday, so happy birthday,
Oh my
Grandma.
gosh.
I know.
Look at that. We were able to squeeze in a little birthday action.
Little birthday.
Nice.
Sometimes my mom shows her the shows, so we'll see if we can share her birthday episode with her. She'd probably think those boots are really cool. She loves fashion and clothes and stuff. So.
Ah. Yeah. And what's her favorite food? Didn't we already talk about?
Jack in the Box tacos.
Yes, exactly. If only it was a Tuesday, we could be celebrating her and
It is. I should have brought tacos from Jack in the Box.
Exactly. Happy birthday,
I don't
Grams.
think they're real meat, so you could even eat them.
Oh, I'm trying to think, when was the last time I went to a taco, or not,
Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box. I think I got those jalapeno poppers once.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
So-
I don't get them because I don't like spicy things.
Ah,
Yeah.
they weren't really that spicy.
They would be to me, Marshall. My nose would sweat, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ugh. But you know what doesn't make me sweat? When you do a little bit of history.
All right.
It's a nice, good time.
All right, so let's talk some history.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so I have a surprise video to show.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Marshall Shore, Arizona's hip historian. Today I'm joined by the Arizona State Capitol because it was recently proclaimed online to be the ugliest state capitol in America. How did that make you feel?
It makes me feel mad and upset. I'm over 115 years old, older than the state itself, and those folks at that list took a pic of my bum and called it ugly. Though I've had some work done, I don't feel that they were correct nor very polite.
You know, Capitol, you're looking quite dapper today.
Well, thank you, hip historian. I'm a humble capital, nothing too fancy. I'm all about local. My foundation that keeps me standing here was carved from our own nearby landmark, Camelback Mountain. My top came from Yavapai County, and the ground level is granite from South Mountain. But I have to boast about my copper top. It was old and dinged up. The wonderful youth across Arizona saved their pennies to buy me a new shiny copper dome. Thank you.
Who's with you today?
My children, the House and Senate. See, Arizona has grown a lot over the years. Instead of moving or getting rid of me and getting something new and fancy, they were added as needed. Some call them too modern, lacking class, but they are children of their era and show how we've grown since my territorial days.
Do you like it when people come to visit?
Oh, of course. I adore visitors. We're the home by and for the people. You can even get a tour of all 4 floors and hear the stories that make Arizona's history great.
Well, that was fun.
All right, so why we showed that is because on this date back in 1901, that building, the Arizona State Capitol building, opened to the public.
Oh, cool.
Since then, it is now no longer the actual state capitol, but it is where there's a cool museum. So if you go there, you'll see all kinds of things. They have rotating exhibits, and it's completely free.
I used to actually be a docent at the Arizona State Capitol Museum, and it was a really fun job. It was a really, really cool. Lots of school kids go there on field trips to kind of learn some Arizona history. We also got to take them onto into the House chamber they could kind of
the
see
old
the
one,
floor.
yeah, right.
So it's a really cool experience. But yeah, I mean, it's open every day during the week, and you can come by and just get a free tour of
or you just walk around. It's so beautiful to walk around.
It is, yeah.
I mean, that old kind of rickety elevator is kind of a hoot to get in.
The elevator is great. They've got a ton of Lon McGargy art,
Right.
and they've got a really beautiful collection on the USS Arizona that's pretty permanent that they
Right,
keep.
the silverware and
Yeah.
everything. So just some really cool things you might not expect.
Yeah, and I don't think it's an ugly building. I actually think that's really cool.
So they were talking about their brutalist structure behind it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was like the joke was it's like they're calling our state capitol ugly. Well, they're looking at this 125-year-old building from the back.
Yeah,
And
okay.
saying, oh, your 125-year-old bum is pretty ugly. It's
No,
like,
it's
well,
cool. I
that's-
love our dome. I love Wing Victory. Yeah, I just think it's
I know,
cool.
and what's so funny, it's like for Centennial, they actually got up there and fixed Wing Victory because people have been using her for target practice.
I know.
So if you would shoot her, she would spin.
That was a favorite of the kids whenever I would tell stories. They really liked that she was
Right.
target practice. Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Well, very cool.
Yeah, so let's talk about some things we can celebrate. All right, so today is Josephine Baker Day.
Ooh.
So she was the first black woman to star in a major motion picture. She was a famed singer, dancer, but it went far beyond just entertaining. She was a dedicated civil rights activist. She was basically given a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. So she has been around and done so many things for so many communities. So happy that we can celebrate Josephine Baker Day. So, honey makes things sweet.
It does.
And where does honey come from?
Bees.
Bees. And so today is why bees matter. And so it's important that this day raises awareness of the vital roles that bees play with pollinators, basically helping our ecosystem, supporting food security, promoting food diversity. So this is a day where we just kind of celebrate those bees that pollinate. 75% of the world crops, 90% of the wild flowering plants come from bees. And that economic impact of pollinators are crucial for agriculture and food production, influencing the livelihoods of farmers and the availability of nutritious food.
Bees are incredibly important to our ecosystem,
indeed.
our well-being, and I just happen to be partial to bees because my name in Greek means honeybee, and I actually have a little bee. I don't think you'll be able to see, but I have a little bee tattooed on my wrist.
Oh, very
yeah.
cool. All right, and then also today is National Pick Strawberries Day.
Ooh, that is always fun to pick some strawberries yourself. It always feels more rewarding and like they're sweet. And I see that Marshall has brought me a treat.
Indeed. So basically, because it's Pick a Strawberry Day, I brought some strawberries.
Did you pick these?
I did not. Well, I picked them up at the market. How's
Okay,
that?
that's fair. I'll take it.
So, picking strawberries actually is hard work because they're not a tall plant. They are a ground level plant. So it's like,
Ew, for me.
to pick them are, yes, indeed. So I guess next time I go picking strawberries,
I'm a great strawberry
I should
picker.
take you.
Yeah.
And so, although, my favorite method was like, you pick one, you eat one. You pick one, you eat one.
I know, that is kind of my
So
problem.
that is kind of the problem because they're so sweet. And
Yeah.
you can go visit You Pick Farms. You could even plant your own strawberries or even just create strawberry delicacies. I mean, a little bit of ice cream.
So I planted, they're called alpine strawberries. And they're little, but they're super sweet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
yummy.
No, I know
Oh my
those.
gosh, they're delicious. But they're like my little carrots that were like, this big, but like packed with flavor.
But, so intense. Well, it's that same flavor that would be spread out, but now.
And strawberries are so great in the summer to have as a treat. You can sprinkle a little sugar on it, leave it in the fridge for a bit.
Right.
You can have them on a salad. Like, I just.
So, I mean, it's so
strawberries.
versatile in so many different ways you can enjoy a strawberry. So, and then also today, when you go buy strawberries and you pick them, it's like they measure like how many strawberry pounds did you pick. They can't measure how many you ate, but I guess they should weigh you before you go in and after you leave.
Yeah.
But so today is Weights and Measures Day.
Oh boy.
So not an exciting day and just kind of talk about, but so this year is the 150th anniversary of the Meter Convention, which is where they basically set all the standards for measurements, facilitating trade, scientific collaboration, and technological advances. So it was a chance to now, a pound was a pound. That's when they figured out how much that would be.
That seems very important.
So indeed, for trade, for technology, for healthcare. So it shows up in all different kinds of ways. So happy Weights and Measures Day. Probably not a good day to go jump on the scale, but
It's never a good day.
it's never a good day to jump on the scale because it's like, oh man, why is my scale broken? Why is it adding all this extra weight?
I know whenever I go to the doctor's office, like, I don't look at it, or a lot of times now they'll do it in, not pounds, but what's the other one?
Oh, kilograms?
Yeah. And they'll be like, do you want us to switch it to pounds? And I'm like, nope, I'm good. Don't need to see that. Thank you.
Now, okay, so when you do that, do you like take everything out of your pockets and everything else?
Well, I mean, I carry a purse, so yeah. I have to,
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I'm like pulling everything out of my
I
pocket,
know.
my phone, my keys, hoping for like every ounce I can get out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. I wear like my really light Crocs usually when I go to the doctor. My lightest shoes. Yeah.
indeed, oh, I should carry balloons, a bunch of helium balloons, so it's like I'm a little lighter.
Good plan. Good plan.
I have to hold on to these. It's someone's birthday coming up. It's your grandma's birthday, so I got to hold on to these balloons.
Silly. He's silly.
So, all right. So, if I was going to run around town, or maybe run around Arizona, do you know of any trivia games or maybe some bingo that I could do?
I do. So fun fact, I'm giving you a little behind the scenes fun here. Our toilet broke in the studio today. So if you're hearing any weird sounds, we're actually working while our wonderful toilet is being fixed by the wonderful Joel. So we're very thankful that he's here.
Yes, indeed.
But it is active filming, so.
So yeah, so I'm hoping that the mic's not picking much up, but it's like in case you also wonder, why are they laughing in the middle of
Or
sentences?
what is that gurgling sound? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's life. Life happens, and
Right.
we're working with it. We're rolling
And
with it.
sometimes life overflows.
Sometimes life overflows. Yes, it's true. Okay, well, we do have a trivia night, Marshall.
I'm shocked.
I know, I thought you would be. 2000s trivia night at Snakes and Lattes in Tempe at 7 p.m. You can throw it back to the glory days of 2000s nostalgia, from flip phones and frosted tips to iconic movies, music, and TV shows. we're diving into all things Y2K. So grab your low-rise jeans, gather your crew, and get ready to relive the best and most cringeworthy moments of the 2000s. So you do get to join a team. It's anywhere from $10 to $60 depending on the size of your team. And again, that's from 7 to 9
So
p.m.
can I just join any team? Because I know nothing about this.
I bet you could. I feel like
Okay.
people there are friendly enough that like
Okay.
if you just walked
It's
up
like,
and
hey,
were
I
like,
want to be on your team. You
Yeah.
look like you know what you're talking about.
you look interesting and smart, so I feel like they'd be like, yeah, and then you'd be a wild disappointment.
Oh, completely. Yes.
No, it's good. We've also got Reclaiming Your Calm workshop at Cactus Flower Healing in Mesa at 6 p.m. You can join yoga instructor Jessica Payne for a monthly yoga class to relieve stress and tension that results in increased feelings of safety and calm. This is $35 and it is 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's funny, when I first read this, I thought it said Reclaiming Your Clams, and I was like, where did they go? Where did the clams go? But no, it's calm. It's calm.
And I'm not going to say a word.
We've also got family board game night at the Peoria Main Library at 4:30 p.m. It's not really night at 4:30, but we'll just call it that. That sounds good to me. If you're tired of battling with your kids over too much screen time, or you wish you could just sit down in real life and kind of have a bonding moment with your family, then you are welcome to come check out Family Board Game Night. They're going to have classics available like Candyland, Uno, Jenga. They'll also have some family-friendly strategy games that might be a bit more adventurous, like Oregon Trail, the card game, Outrun the Bear, or this one's my favorite, Exploding Kittens. Yep, that's a game. That's a game you didn't know you could play.
Well, I think it's like Cards Against Humanity, because I've seen
Maybe.
I've seen like cards
Okay.
that said Exploding Kittens, but I don't really know quite what the theme is.
Well, if you want to find out, you can go to the Peoria Main Library at 4:30
or do
p.m.
but it's like do they have like classics like Boggle where you had the thing, or
That would be fun. I do
or
like
Life where you had
Boggle.
to spin?
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember, did you ever have the crocodile game where you push the teeth down? Or Hungry Hungry Hippos?
Oh,
I loved Hungry Hippos.
I actually bought Hungry Hippos at one point. I no longer have it, but I was like, I just love the little.
That'd probably be too loud for a library, wouldn't it?
Yeah, kind of like Red like Sock'em Rock'em Robots. Probably a little too violent as
You never
well.
know. Go see what they have. It could be a fun
Exactly.
discovery.
Bring your own.
And it's free. It's free to go, so you can bring your family to the library, play some fun games. Okay, we've also got, in the spirit of reclaiming your calm or your clams, we've got a sound healing meditation workshop at Everything Just Rocks in Tempe. It's happening at 6:30 p.m. So this is a relaxing and immersive experience that uses sound and vibration to promote wellness and healing. They can really help you reduce your stress, anxiety, depression, pain. It's also shown to improve mood, sleep, and creativity. So they'll take you through the whole journey of sound healing, and it's $20 in advance, $25 if you show up in person and pay there, and it's from 6:30 to 8. So I always love a good sound bath. It's one of my favorite things. And then we've got some fun snow cones with Stitch at Skateland in Mesa at 5:30 p.m. There's going to be a fun-filled skating session with everyone's favorite blue alien, Stitch. You can glide around the rink, snap selfies with Stitch, and cool down with a free snow cone for every skater. Admission is $7 plus a $5 skate rental. If you're not planning on skating, you just want to hang out, it's only $4. That's from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And as you might or might not know, Marshall, they're doing a live version of Stitch, so that's probably...
So Stitch is an alien.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Oh.
No.
Yeah,
No,
Stitch is
I always thought
an
it was like a blue koala bear.
Well, he disguises himself as a dog, so he kind of like sucks
Okay.
in some of his weird alien qualities and looks
Okay.
more dog-ish. Yeah, to blend in with the family.
Ah.
But he's an alien.
I didn't realize that.
Planet 626. Why do I remember that? I know that.
Was there trivia as well? Because maybe you should go for the trivia
Maybe we
portion
should.
of the.
Pleakley? Yeah.